Funnel fairy butterbar, funnel fairy butterbar, funnel fairy butterbar, funnel fairy. There's nothing wrong with the microphone.
Whether it's with their bodies or their voice, these actors know how to bring a character to life.
Ooh, I quiver with fear.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 celebrities with success in both acting and voice acting. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're looking at actors who are known just as much for their voiceover roles as they are for their on-screen performances. Number 10, Seth MacFarlane.
Mom! 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 Mommy! 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 Mama! Mama!
It's impossible not to know MacFarlane, given the fact that he created and voices a large chunk of the principal cast of both Family Guy and American Dad.
Are you gay?
Guilty!
But while most voice actors are faceless unknowns as far as the public is concerned, MacFarlane has also become recognizable as a live-action star as well. From cameos in Star Trek Enterprise and Tooth Fairy, to the leading role in A Million Ways to Die in the West, Seth MacFarlane's face is becoming more and more familiar.
I kissed her, she didn't kiss me, all right? It's not her fault. I mean, she didn't tell me she was married, so it's a little bit her fault, I guess.
Then, of course, there is fellow Griffin Mila Kunis, whose career has seen her behind the microphone and in front of the camera almost from the beginning. Number 9, Jack Black. Who would have thought the rambunctious vocalist of Tenacious D would find his own niche in the acting world? Coming into his own with movies that take advantage of his musical and comedic roots, it's fair to say that Tropic Thunder and School of Rock wouldn't be the same without him.
You're not hardcore unless you live hardcore.
But he's found his groove in voice acting as well, letting loose his inner roadie as Eddie Riggs in the heavy metal-inspired video game Brutal Legend.
You ever feel like you were born in the wrong time? Like you should have been born earlier, when the music was real?
However, none would argue the fact that his standout voice role is Po in the Kung Fu Panda franchise, where he proves awesomeness comes in all sizes.
How can we repay you?
There is no charge for awesomeness or attractiveness.
Number 8, J.K. Simmons. Iconic for his portrayal of Spider-Man's biggest critic, J. Jonah Jameson, across the Sam Raimi movies, as well as various cartoons and video games, this veteran actor has proven he's certainly not a one-trick pony.
You serious?
In Whiplash, he gave an Oscar-winning performance as the terrifyingly intense jazz conductor Terrence Fletcher, and moviegoers haven't looked at him quite the same way since.
1, 2, 3,
Rushing or dragging?
Rushing.
So you do know the difference.
As it happens, it turns out Simmons is rather fond of voice acting as well, securing roles in television shows like The Legend of Korra and Gravity Falls, along with movies like Zootopia and Kung Fu Panda 3.
If I stepped on you, would you die?
And to top it all off, he's even Cave Johnson from Portal 2 and the Yellow M&M.
What are you doing?
You said to tell our fans crispy M&Ms are back.
Number 7, Mike Myers.
Excuse me? Baking powder?
Crazy characters and even crazier accents are all par for the course with this Canadian comedian. While he's had stumbles with films like The Love Guru and The Cat in the Hat, Myers has shown himself as a master when it comes to throwing his all into the zaniest roles possible.
Oh, behave. Yeah. Yeah, baby!
From Wayne's World to Austin Powers and even a cameo in Inglourious Bastards, more often than not, he manages to bring a unique edge to whatever the role. As for voices, we kindly point you towards the Shrek franchise, where he took a Scottish ogre and propelled him to superstardom, at least in box office terms.
No! Layers! Onions have layers. Ogres have layers. Onions have layers? You get it. We both have layers.
Number 6, Samuel L. Jackson.
You tell me what my suit is, woman. We are talking about the greater good.
Greater good? I am your wife. I'm the greatest good you are ever gonna get.
From Tarantino movies to Pixar to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, there's no area of film or animation that this actor hasn't graced with his presence. With classic performances littered throughout Pulp Fiction, Jurassic Park, the Star Wars prequels, A Time to Kill, The Avengers, and even Snakes on a Plane, you shouldn't be surprised to hear Samuel L. Jackson appear in various voiceover pieces as well.
This is Agent Neville Flynn, FBI. You are talking to the only person up here who has that experience. I suggest you give him what he needs so we can land this thing.
We all remember him as Frozone from The Incredibles, but he's also lent his vocal talents to the anime Afro Samurai. What else is there to say? He's one bad mother chucker.
I recognize the council has made a decision, but given that it's a stupid-ass decision, I've elected to ignore it.
Number 5. Steve Carell.
It's so good to be here. I've never been on television.
While known to sometimes dabble in more serious films like The Big Short and Foxcatcher, what we remember most fondly about this actor are his comedic performances like in Get Smart, Anchorman, The 40-Year-Old Virgin, and of course, The Office.
Where are the turtles? Where are the turtles? Come on, guys, get out of here.
Where are the turtles?
Turns out that comedy spills over just as well to voice work. Most famously as the sometimes supervillain, sometimes superhero Gru from the Despicable Me franchise.
You will not cry, or whine, or laugh, or giggle, or sneeze, or burp, or fart.
You can never get tired of his odd Eastern European accent. But if you do, there are always his roles in things like Over the Hedge and Horton Hears a Who.
Well, it's news. I don't know if we need to go labeling it good or bad or anything like that.
Number 4. Vin Diesel.
Well, yes, someday. I don't know.
Fans with a long memory may have enjoyed his performances in Boiler Room and Saving Private Ryan. But for modern moviegoers, it's hard to think about Vin Diesel without thinking of the Fast and the Furious franchise.
I live my life a quarter mile at a time.
Practically a byword for badass, Diesel isn't just a pure adrenaline-chasing action star. He may have gained fame in action blockbusters like Chronicles of Riddick and Triple X, but it's his voice work where he really gets to show his range as an actor.
I'm Groot. That's right.
Even if signature roles of the Iron Giant or Groot aren't exactly known for their wordiness.
I'm Groot.
Yeah, you said that.
Number 3. Mark Hamill. As a live-action actor, it may be impossible for Mark Hamill to ever truly distance himself from simple farm boy turned Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker.
I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
But in a galaxy far, far away from power converters and womp rats, Hamill has his pick of roles. From Fire Lord Ozai in Avatar: The Last Airbender, to Skips from Regular Show and Senator Stampingston from Metalocalypse.
Here to explain more is human relations and masturbation expert Dr. Fasmilia Gerald.
Hamill's best known and best received voice role, however, is as Batman foe the Joker, a role he's held since 1992. In fact, despite serious live-action competition, Hamill is considered by many to be the definitive Joker.
That's it. That's what I want to see. A nice big smile.
Number 2. Tom Hanks. His on-screen accolades are numerous, due to consistently bringing personable characters to life in magnificent performances.
My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
From Forrest Gump, Big, Philadelphia, Saving Private Ryan, Castaway, The Green Mile, to Captain Phillips, there is no shortage of iconic Tom Hanks moments.
Well done! Well done!
And yet, in spite of those legendary roles, multiple generations will also remember him as the voice of everyone's favorite cowboy from Toy Story.
What? No, listen, no one's getting replaced. This is Andy we're talking about.
Although the film had no shortage of voice talent, Pixar's magnum opus wouldn't have garnered such acclaim if not for Mr. Hanks' signature gravitas.
You are a toy! You weren't the real Buzz Lightyear, you're an action figure! You are a child's plaything!
Number 1. Robin Williams.
Well, I do voices.
Yeah!
We've come to this planet looking for intelligent life. Oops, we made a mistake.
We're happy to be in America. Don't ask for a green card.
I want you in the worst way.
As far as comedy and drama goes, this late great actor juggled both equally while sprinkling in his irreplaceable wit and seemingly boundless energy.
Hello!
Whether he was making us laugh in Mrs. Doubtfire and the Birdcage, or bringing us to tears in Good Will Hunting and Dead Poets Society, his performances were infectious. While he dabbled in voice work throughout the years in Ferngully, Robots, and the Happy Feet franchise, there's just no topping what is arguably his greatest role, the genie from Aladdin.
I'm free at last! I'm hitting the road! I'm off to see the world!
It was a role nearly as animated as Williams himself, and that is saying something.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.